My name is Debra Zarne. I'm the writer-director of a short film called Wedlocked. Wedlocked is a 5-minute film about a middle-aged married couple who have been together a long time. The story illustrates the husband and wife's thoughts and feelings about each other and their relationship and their individual decisions whether to stay or leave the relationship.
This is a short film that's like 5 minutes long, maybe 6 at the most. And I know the music is very important to this, the film score. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I'd love to. The music is a piece of experimental music written by Yehuda Yannay, who is an elderly gentleman and formerly a professor of music, I think music composition at UWM. He's retired now, but he's well known around the world for experimental and avant-garde music. His music pieces premiere in places like Berlin, Tel Aviv, as well as Milwaukee. And I met him 10 years ago. We became friends. And when I learned about what he does, I thought it would be a lot of fun to collaborate with him. And he was interested as well. He gave me free rein to do whatever I wanted. He let me choose whatever piece of music I wanted. And I've kept him apprised along the way of the whole process, but he really gave me free rein to do pretty much whatever I wanted. And what's a little unusual about this film is that, in a sense, I made it in reverse. With most films, one comes up with the concept and writes the script, shoots the film, and then has music tailored to the film, supporting the film. In this case, I started with a piece of pre-existing music, experimental music, and I came up with a concept and then a script based upon the music. And I literally mapped out the changes in the music where there were differences in tone or intensity, the different modulations, and I tried to fit the progression of the story to fit the changes in the music. So the music really is an organic melding with the story, and it punctuates and illustrates the story.
You went to the University of Southern California. What brought you to Milwaukee?
Oh, I'm from Milwaukee originally. Milwaukee is my hometown. Yes, I've lived in a lot of other places over my adult life, but I grew up here, went to school here. And I have family and friends here. And about a year and a half ago, I decided, I'd been going back and forth a lot, and I decided a year and a half ago to make this home base. So I'm a Wisconsin resident now, and I love Wisconsin. I think it has so much to offer. I think Milwaukee is a well-kept secret, and I think it just has so much to offer by way of cultural attractions and so much talent in the theater and music and so forth. The landscape is beautiful. The people are just so warm and friendly. So I love Wisconsin, and I'm a Wisconsin native.
So let's talk about the actors in the film. How did you cast them for this?
The actors are Cynthia Levin and Richard Gustin. Cynthia, I actually met at USC when I was working on a different film. She was one of the actors, and she really has a comedic bent. In fact, she does a lot of stand-up comedy as well as acting. She is hilarious. I've used her before on a different short I made. Every single time I watch that short, it cracks me up. When I was filming it, it cracked me up. I could barely keep the camera steady. She was just so talented. So I've kept in touch with her over the years. And when I wrote this script, I actually had her in mind for the part, and she was interested in doing it. There were a few bumps along the way due to COVID. We had to postpone the filming, but she was always on board. She doesn't live in Milwaukee. She has lived she's from Chicago originally, and recently she's lived in Chicago, but also Los Angeles, New York. She's currently in New York, but we scheduled the filming a year ago so that it would be when she was visiting family in Chicago and she could drive up the night before for the filming. Then in the case of Richard, I didn't know Richard before we became involved doing this film. And a friend of mine, when he learned that I wanted to cast a certain part, the part of the husband in the film, he mentioned his friend Richard Gustin. So I met Richard over the internet doing a Zoom. And I could see that he would be good for the part. And I think he is. I think both actors really do a wonderful job in their roles.
The conception of this film happened during COVID?
No, the conception was before COVID,
Okay.
but the actual filming was delayed. We were going to film right before COVID, and actually I was thinking of using a different actor for the role of the husband. We changed that and ultimately went with Richard at the tail end of COVID.
So when did you begin shooting and when did you complete the film?
We, trying to think, we did it in one day. We shot it in one day in July of, I think it was 2021. And then it took me a while editing it, a number of months editing it. And I was just involved in other projects, but I completed it in completed all the editing in July of 2022.
So let's talk about what's next for you.
On an ongoing basis, I do promotional videos, usually for nonprofits in Milwaukee, but what's coming down and that's ongoing. What's coming down the pike is another music video for a musician for whom I've done 2 music videos in the past. And so he has a piece of music called Science Fiction, very unusual sort of synthesizer sounds. And so you'll be seeing that hopefully within the next several months.
So how is the film doing in the film festival circuit? Have you submitted it to any other festivals?
Yes, I've started doing so. It actually got, I think it was a quarter finalist for Best Original Story at the Los Angeles Film Awards. And I'm waiting to hear back from other festivals.
That's wonderful. Do you have anything else you want to say that we might have not touched upon?
Sure. I would say about my film, people who have seen it tend to really love it, especially people who have been in relationships a long time. One person said, everyone who's been married a long time should see this film. But I would say it's not just about marriage, it's about any long-term relationship. It doesn't depict all marriages, but I think many marriages. I don't want to give a spoiler as to how it ends, but there are various ups and downs in it. And I would say it expresses universal sentiments of people in a relationship, their frustrations, fears, affection for each other. And it's a dramedy. There's drama and comedy. And I think people will enjoy seeing it both for its experimental nature and also the humor in the film.
Well, thank you for being here today.
We can't wait to attend the festival. We're so excited and we're thrilled that Wedlocked will be at the festival. Thank you so very much. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and these fantastic Zoom interviews.
Well, you're welcome.